Hello everyone and welcome to Hypothetical Science. In Hypothetical Science, I am exploring a new hypothesis that the universe is fractal in nature based on atom galaxy, where galaxies are made from atoms, and in exactly the same manner atoms are made from smaller atoms. But today, I would like to explore, one of the things that comes out of this hypothesis is an understanding of gravity as a pushing radiation. Now, Descartes was the earliest one I could find that was suggesting that gravity was a push. And then his ideas were taken up by Fatio, who also showed that gravity could be reversed mathematically. Fatio was a mathematical genius that lived with Newton for 4 years during the plague. And then about 50 years later, in the 1700s, Lesage took up the push gravity idea and published on it as well. But all of these people were saying that this push was particles coming from space, coming in all directions from space. But this atom galaxy hypothesis suggests that all matter pushes. It's the matter that's pushing. The matter is releasing a smaller radiation, and this radiation is coming from all directions. So for smaller things in space, they're being pushed together by this radiation, and they're not big enough to push themselves apart. So smaller things get pushed together. But larger planets get to where they're putting out more push from their matter than what is coming in from space. And so for larger planets, they push other things away. The space tries to push things to them, and they push them away. So larger planets will have things orbiting them, and stars will have things orbiting them because they're pushing those things away. They're large enough to be putting out enough gravitational push. But for you or me and the planet Earth, space, all the matter in space is pushing us onto the Earth. And this is just exactly what Descartes said. But Descartes said it was a second species of matter that was pushing us onto the Earth, which is actually pretty close because it's a second species of radiation produced by matter that is pushing us onto the Earth. And this radiation is coming from all of the matter in space. And so we're being pushed onto the Earth because the Earth isn't big enough to push out hard enough to counter that inward push. So we have the downward radiation. So on smaller planets like Earth and Mars, you have a downward gravitational flow. And what happens there is that smaller planets are rocky and dusty, and smaller things fall down onto them. But when you get to larger planets, and they've got more gravitational push coming up from them at their surface than is coming down into them from space, then those planets will have all of their loose rocks and dust and stuff will just get slung off into space and become rings and moons. And for those larger planets that get even larger, where they've got quite a distance from their surface outward, where the gravitation is upward for a distance, hydrogen and helium that comes along sees that as up and goes towards the planet and layers onto those big planets because of this layer of reverse or upward gravitational flow, because the planet is so big. So yeah, that's how gravity works. That's what I think. Let me know what you think.